Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are the apostles and elders of Yasharallah. Peace and salutations to the Bayaf Dawadah, the house of David for elect. The name of this video is going to be called Major Prophecies Are Getting Ready to Come to Pass. Alright, major prophecies in the scriptures are getting ready to come to pass. And one of the major prophecies that comes to mind is Jacob's trouble. Second thing that comes to mind is the MOTB. These things are getting ready to come to pass in a major way. Alright? And I'm going to start with the first scriptures, 2 Ezra 15:1. Because what they have, they now, what they did was they now extended the debt ceiling deadline to June 5th, but things are getting ready to happen. It says, this is 2 Ezra 15:1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." And what's prophecy? Prophecy is talking about major judgment and things getting ready to happen upon the earth and upon you so-called blacks, Native Americans. And if you don't have Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to be caught in that snare. Alright? Because they're getting ready to cause a great culling. And who am I talking about? Esau, Edom, which is so-called white race, so-called white nation, but the head of them, which is the elites. Alright? The bankers, the Oppenheimers, the so-called Illuminati. Okay? The people that run the world. They're getting ready to make major changes. Okay? Bringing in a digital system. Alright, they're getting ready to bring in that chaos is what we're warning you about, man. They're getting ready to bring that chaos, which is what the Bible speaks about Jacob's trouble. It says, "And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." What's faithful and true? These scriptures, these prophecies will come to pass. And like we said before, these things the Lord used the first and foremost start with the apostle that was a great millstone to warn you people of this great day that's getting ready to come to pass and happen. This time that's getting ready to happen is like no other day, has never been seen on the face of the earth, worse than slavery, worse than any type of atrocity that ever took place upon the earth. And the only ones that's going to make it out is of the elect. And this is what's getting ready to happen. Things are not going to go smooth until the Lord comes back. And that's what we're trying to tell you people. And we're doing this that we might be delivered and we might be saved. You see? It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." And incredulity means unbelief, and of course, because what we're saying is very it's unimaginable, it's raw, because we're telling you that there's gonna come a time to where the government is gonna come against you and hunt people down and put them in FEMA camps. But is it so far-fetched what we're saying? No, because you have people of having video footage of literal FEMA camps being built. Okay? Concentration camps. So these things are getting ready to happen. And we're here to warn you and let you know that before these things happen, that people better come, our people, you so-called blacks, Spanish Americans, not only through the through that lineage, but there's also the Israelite foreigners that look like the other races. Okay, because they're getting ready to bring out this thing and cause major chaos to bring in their MOTB. And that's the end all be all. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." And that's talking about you so-called black Native Americans that don't believe what the prophets are saying. Okay? Now, I'm going to play something real quick just to show you that major things are getting ready to happen, man. Major things are getting ready to happen. So, hold on.
Breaking news. Stop scrolling. I've got some breaking news for you. Amid the alarming revelation of a Chinese cyber attack on critical U.S. infrastructure, the U.S. Senate's been equipped with satellite phones for emergency communication in potential disruptive events. Concurrently, the FDA is issuing a cryptic warning about an internet shutdown later this week. While we may scoff at the FDA's caution, the timing is intriguing. Over 50 senators now possess these devices as part of a fresh wave of security measures from the Senate Sergeant-at-Arms. These phones act as a safety net in case of emergency that disrupts communication in America. Are we on the cusp of a massive disruption? Should we be gearing up for it? Dive deeper into the story by tapping the link in our bio. Stop scrolling.
Some hope heading into the weekend as negotiators race against the clock to avoid economic catastrophe that a deal may finally be in sight. Both sides showing optimism.
It's hard, but we're working, and we're going to continue to work till we get this done.
The only way to move forward is with a bipartisan agreement.
But the deal would still have to pass Congress, and leaders are walking a tightrope.
We're at a sensitive phase with sensitive issues that remain. Those sensitive issues are the thorniest issues that we've been discussing.
The White House and Republicans in the House of Representatives are haggling over budget cuts and caps on future spending. They're working to find a sweet spot that will appease cost-conscious conservatives and progressives worried about the impact on social programs.
It's clear to me that President Biden is continuing to hold the line.
The ultimate deal, though, may require compromise from both factions.
I think the Speaker well knows he's gonna lose his Freedom Caucus, and I think Hakeem Jeffries and the President well know that they're going to lose a number of progressives on the deal. And so, they're just trying to figure out where that middle ground is.
Compromise that could make it more difficult to get through both the House and the Senate.
Every additional Democrat vote you think you want to get means you're getting a worse deal overall.
But despite all the noise, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has pressed upon his caucus to remain calm and that a deal will come together.
Look, it's not easy. This is a big issue, and it's not something you can solve easily. We want to make sure it's worthy of the American people.
All right, Ryan, so let's break it down. If a deal is in fact reached, how will things play out? Well, Hoda, keep in mind that members have already left Washington for the Memorial Day break, but they've been warned that they will need to be ready to return at any moment. And then it's going to take some time to write and pass the legislation that comes from any deal. House Republicans have vowed to give the deal at least 72 hours to be reviewed before it's even voted upon. And some Republicans in the Senate have warned that they're not going to speed up the process for a deal they cannot support. So there's a good chance that this process plays right up to that June 1st deadline. Yeah, indeed. All right, Ryan Forrest, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching.
While half the country time to talk about the debt ceiling, while half the country is distracted with culture wars. If you're in my comments talking about a demographic of people, you're distracted, you're hateful, and you probably don't know how politics work. So let me enlighten you. Debt ceiling negotiations continue as default deadline looms. Let me be very clear. If we default on our debt for the first time in history, we are all fucked. And he is trying to stop it. And Kevin McCarthy, Republican House Speaker, is saying, well, I have terms for you to raise the debt ceiling and not default on our debt. So they're negotiating these today. Let's take a look at what his terms are. Limit federal spending. It would cap our spending at $1.4 trillion and put restricted budgets on things like, weapons programs, service member pay, grants for schools that serve large shares of low-income students, rental assistance to house millions of poor and disabled, and money to fund research on cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Yeah, let's cut that. Other examples of things that would be affected: air traffic control towers, our travel, slashing nutrition services for 1 million senior citizens, food for the elderly, eliminating affordable housing assistance for close to 1.1 million families, shelter for families. The reduction would impact 6.6 million students who rely on Pell Grants, our future generation, 1.2 million women, infants, and children who receive nutrition assistance, and 100,000 children would lose access to child care. It's amazing that they justify these abortion bans with wanting to protect babies. Yeah, not once they're here. It would cut the student loan forgiveness program. If this one bothers you, why? Because if you're a Republican who's been in my comments, because I've seen some of you, you hate homeless people. So why don't we just give them a little bit of our tax dollars to help people get through college? Because most employers require a degree. This needs to exist. College is expensive, and people can't afford to do it. This is the worst one, fossil fuel boost. Our planet is dying. Natural disasters are killing us, and when our planet dies because it's occurring, we die with it. And none of this matters. The arguments, the politics, none of it matters. And they're trying to increase the production of oil, natural gas, and coal for profit. Let's take a look at what else they're doing. They want to repeal tax breaks for the people who are producing and consuming clean energy. Where the hell do you want your tax dollars to go if not to protect this planet? Let's take a look at where they are going. Do you feel safe in this country? Could they just go get along with other world leaders so we could cut this a little bit, or tax billionaires? But instead, we're cutting all of these, all of the things that help society survive. And the Republican government is holding it over Joe Biden's head to make it seem like it's him when he ultimately has to accept the only terms he's given to not default on the debt. Time to talk about the...
Yeah, so as you can see, things are getting ready to happen. All right? And the first thing that comes to my mind is I'll get it real quick. 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, "Lest Satan should gain advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." We know that they have to cause some type of chaos to bring in their new world order. And we also know this. This is Jeremiah 51:20, and it says, no, not 51. So it's 50. Let me get it. Give me a second. Here's Jeremiah 51:9. It says, "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her." So listen, man, they're trying to build this country back up and heal it, but at the end of the day, man, one, we know that they have to bring this chaos into the Lord is going to destroy this place. The Lord is not going to heal this place, man. All right, so whatever deal they have is always going to be consequences, and who is it going to come down on? The American people. It says, "We would have healed Babylon," which is aka America, "but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies." So this is why things are not going to get better, things are going to get worse. All right? And I believe that they're getting ready to bring about chaos, man. All right? Something's going to happen where, and even if they do pass this debt ceiling, something is going to happen. Some type of 9/11, a new 9/11, or new, what just happened is going to get ready to come to pass. It says, going back to it, it says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their horrible works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things." So great abominations have happened in Babylon, which is America. And you can Google it. You know what I'm saying? You can Google, all right, who is the daughter of Babylon? They'll tell you. All right, because why? The Lord is making all the darkness come into light. All right? And all you people going to realize that the prophets were actually telling you the truth. That this place, America, is the virgin daughter of Babylon, and great judgment is getting ready to happen to it. And I'm reading it. It says, "I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Who's that? Go to Ezekiel 9:4. Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. "And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them, and our people are being destroyed in this place. Behold, my peoples led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." And you know when you go to Revelation, all right, it tells you that America is spiritually, Babylon is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. It says, Revelation verse 11 and 8, it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city." What great city is that talking about? America, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. All right, so that's talking about this wicked place, man. All right, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy on the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for the deed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful consolations. Woe, and woe means destruction. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you can see how this could happen, man. You can see how there could be a great insurrection with the people, because this debt ceiling, like I said before, whatever happens is going to affect the people. Either way, it's going to affect these Babylonians or the American people, man. All right. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in power." And what does sedition mean? It means what to uprise against the government, and this could happen. All right, this could be one thing. If they sign the debt ceiling, that can be just another more draconian laws against the people. Okay, to cause them to rebel. All right. Which at the end of it all, they're gonna want to bring out the chip. They want to bring that chaos so they could eventually bring out the chip. You see, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." And that's the times that we're coming into. These are the times that we're trying to put in your mind to let you know that these things are going to happen. How it's going to happen? They're going to cause some type of chaos. They're going to cause some type of 9/11 effect. I played you the video where all these governors and officials are getting have received satellite phones. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for what? Great tribulation." Which leads me to what? Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 5. And it reads, it says, "For thus saith the Lord power, we have heard a voice of trembling and fear, not of peace." And that's via the way of the prophets, the true prophets of the Lord, not these false prophets. Because the false prophets are not letting you people know about Jacob's trouble and what these governments are getting ready to do. Okay, they're getting ready to bring upon evil. And who's really bringing upon the evil? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Because judgment is going to start in the house of Israel first. It says, "Ask ye now, and see where that man doth travail with child." Now this is what Jeremiah is seeing. All right, what he's seeing, the vision that the Lord has given him, a man holding his loins. All right, why would a man be holding his loins like he's travailing with a child? Why? Because of famine. And that's what's getting ready what they're getting ready to bring. They're cutting down, okay, and they're taking away these laws, are bringing about draconian laws. And if they don't find a deal, okay, all hell's gonna break loose. So it says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness." Why? Because they don't have no future. They don't see no future in this place, and every American is gonna realize that soon. That there's no future here, and the only future you're gonna have to like Charles Schwab said, you'll own nothing and be happy, is gonna be via the way of that RFID hit. All right, and that's gonna be the new way of living. That you eat, sleep, work, and do the same thing every day. All right, just to survive and be happy that you're surviving. The new slaves upon the earth. Okay, the digital slave. And this is what they're gonna bring. All this freedom stuff, all this stuff that's going on, this liberty that you Americans are having, that people are having, that's getting ready to come out the window, man. And they're doing it strategically. You see, they're getting ready to bring these draconian laws. Okay, matter of fact, this is Micah. Let me get it. It says, this is Micah 2:1, and it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." And that's what they're doing right now, man. All this stuff that they're letting you people talking about, debt ceiling. They already have this stuff in plan. They already know what they're getting ready to do. And they're getting ready to bring upon chaotic times, okay, to ultimately bring about the MOTB. Okay, ain't gonna be no peace and safety. Ain't gonna be no, okay, well, things gonna be back as it was back in the normal. They're gonna make things harder and harder and harder and worse and worse and worse until they bring that major chaos. They're gonna break you down, suffocate you, bore you like the frog in the water. But the thing about it, they don't have that much time. This is Revelation chapter. Matter of fact, before I get to that, before I go to that, I want to get this out. I'm not gonna make this too long. This is because it's gonna be a crazy time, man. This is Daniel 12:1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble." This is what's getting ready to happen. This is why the Lord has prepared our minds through my apostles, and that was a great millstone. All right, the apostles and my elders has prepared our minds through the scriptures, through the Lord, through the power spirit of Yahweh of these things to come, man. There's gonna be times where you're not gonna be eating every day. You're not gonna be eating 3-course meals. You're not gonna be. So this is why the Lord had us to what every brother should be fasting or doing an intermittent fasting. That's what the apostles been doing these health videos. Okay, exercising. Because things, and mind you, that profiteth little, but things are getting ready to happen. Having that stoic state of mind. Okay, not following these other folly Israelite groups, man. Partying. Okay, thinking that things are sweet, man. Because why? Because they're greatly deceived. Things are getting ready to go down. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. See, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So it's gonna be such a terrible time. It's gonna get so bad that the archangel Michael's gonna have to come down to deliver the elect, man. That's how bad it's gonna get. Because please believe they're getting ready to bring about their technology. All right, the book of Revelation, and they're gonna break you people down so much, give you so much chaos that you're gonna want to take this. And this is matter of fact, and that's gonna be this, the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that's gonna be the hour of temptation, man, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see, and what's that temptation? The book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 15. Let me get to the point. 16. And he calls with all, both small and great. Matter of fact, let me go up. Book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 15. And he had power. Who is that? Esau, Edom, the bankers, the elites, so-called Illuminati, the people that's run the world, to give life unto the image of the beast, which is what? Merging man with the machine. The Roman Empire, the new Roman Empire, which is going to be what? A digital world, technology, tech 2.0. All right, merging man with machine. Okay, AI. This is when AI is going to be alive. All right, that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, G5480, look it up, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the beast or the number of his name. Why? Because it's going to be so chaotic that when they bring about this new world, that old world is going to be thrown out, never forgotten again. That old world is going to end chaotic, and they believe that they're going to bring in their new world with this new world order, which is every single person getting that chip. That's going to be the order out of chaos. You people, that people are going to beg for the chip. You'll own nothing and be happy. This is what they want to do. This is what they're trying to bring out of that Jacob's trouble or the chaos. But the Lord is going to be with the elect. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For this number of a man is number 600,6, which is what the UPC code is. They want to track every single flesh on the face of the planet. Alright, so with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honor to my apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who are the apostles and elders of Yasharala. Peace and salutation to the Bayaf Dawadah, the house of David, the hopeful elect. So great prophecies, man. Major prophecies are getting ready to happen. Major prophecies. Like, again, Jacob's trouble. I know we keep saying this. Jacob's trouble is getting ready to go down. They're planning on it. They're planning on bringing this chaos. Who knows? It might be an EMP attack. Alright, so with that, Shalom.